Take a break. You shouldn't have. It's like, I do it every day, man. I think I do it. I'm supposed to do it every day. I'm not counting, but I did it. Does that make sense to you guys? It shouldn't surprise you. Somebody has 300 days of strike, but you should have it. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Okay, so I want you to understand that partner honoring core is no big deal. You got to stay on it. Right? Books. I don't care. You have, subscription to, Amazon Prime Books, audible.com, Scribe, whatever, or you buy physical books. Stay on the books. Right? Books became too cumbersome to ship out to people and all of that. You should get your own books and read whenever, but go through the recommended book list. Upline tells you the recommended books. Like, go through the people skills book, communication skills, go personal. Now, I'll give you some simple stuff. Are you guys ready? If you're starting out, you're understanding, learning the basics of doing process appointments. Please have heavy emphasis on communication skills. How I win friends, influence people, how I raise myself from failure to success in selling, how to start a conversation. There are conversation communication books which gives you actual point. Remember, this is called communication skill. It's not called communication talent. This is skills, means which can be legit developed. But you got to consciously develop it. Right? You're starting to grow your business. Start reading books on personal development. Right? 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. There's so many of those. Right? Again, go through Upline. Everybody has a recommended book list. They'll walk you through whether you're good at audio books, whether you are physical books. I don't care which books you read. Right? As long as the content is going in your brain, that's what matters. Or you're an e-reader, doesn't matter. Kindle reader, whatever. Anything is. I don't care how you read it. We don't define how you read it. You make sure you're reading it. Does that make sense? Are you with me? And then as your team starts forming, go to 5 people, 10 people, team, get onto leadership books. Right? 21 laws of irritable laws of leadership, Think and Grow Rich, start reading, building leadership skills. Does that make sense? Right? So I just want to throw that out there so there is a path to learning a business. Clear to you guys? Okay. Now let's understand as far as business building is concerned. Let's take some of that out of the way, right? There is your phase 1 of learning your business is learning how to do your process appointment and creating success in process appointment. Is that clear? Are you guys with me? Right? Defining that. It's not that complicated. Are you with me? Are you going to succeed day 1? No, you're going to fail miserably day 1. Right? Am I making sense to you? You're supposed to fail miserably day 1. Are you with me? Anything you do, you want to play football, you want to play soccer, I don't care what you play. You're going to fail miserably. Right? I remember I started learning, playing with my girls. We put a TT table like inside the house. My little one will start, like every shot she will miss it. So the ball is coming here, she'll swing here, like swing there. And now she got a rhythm. She's like, Papa, I can actually play this thing. I'm like, yeah, you see that? It's doing things, right? Yes or no? What are some of the ways you need to do it? Number 1, do practice session. Write this one down. You got to do a lot of role play hurdles with your team. Do it individually, do it at a group level, break out in smaller groups and do it. You got to do it. For every hour of professional football that gets played on the arena, there is at least 20 to 30 hours of practice that happens. How many of you know that? Minimum. I'm talking about like averaging it out, right? Yes or no? I don't care if you talk about baseball, you talk about football. Do you know how many hours of that? Lombardi in one of his books talks about, he said that every play that he makes in his game, in his phenomenal book, I forgot the name of the book. He talked about every play I make in the game. He says the other team always knew our play, but we still succeeded because we were that good at the play. It's not like we came up with a new ball. He loves talking about it. He'll start with every practice session saying, this is a football. He'll start there, right? That was his famous thing, right? So it's not about finding, like, I love IBOs to come up and ask, so can you give me new ideas? No, it's the same old idea. Do DTM Masava, do the MG1. I mean, same old idea, right? It's not about a unique idea. It's about how good are you doing it? If you keep doing it, you keep doing it, right? Are you selling the business or are you, who is the buyer, who is the seller? Like the mindset, a lot of IBOs initially when they start doing process up and what happens? They're literally selling it, isn't it? You should see it, man. This is so good. I want you to meet my mentor. I'm like, why? Slow down. Why would I mentor? Right? They're not qualifying at all, actually. They're actually selling the business. They're selling everybody. They'll put the whole thing onto the bus. Like, this is so good. You need to do it. I'm telling you, like, that's it. You're done. Nobody's coming to you. Right? And what happens when people initially don't succeed? They never blame their lack of skill set. Who do they blame? The business. Amway doesn't work. What? Which part doesn't work? You do a volume, you get a check. Which part doesn't work? Anybody did a volume and the check didn't come? Has it ever happened? In Amway's 70 year of history, Amway has never failed to send a bonus check out. Never. So you cannot say Amway doesn't work. You do the volume, bonus will come. Trust me. It shows up every month. Like clockwork. Better than paychecks, actually. Are you with me? But it's the lack of skill set, right? But they'll never blame it on the skill set. What do they blame it on? On the business, on the upline, on the team. They'll blame everybody else other than their lack of skills. It's like the guys who don't drive properly and they blame every other car on the road. You see that guy? He got into my lane, man. No, you ain't paying attention. No, he solved it. No, you ain't. Dude, come on. Just learn how to drive properly. Yes or no? But you can blame everybody else. But at the end of the day, you got to learn driving. Yes or no? So develop the, and you shouldn't, guys, listen, I got upset with somebody in my team the other day, so one of the platform. I said, listen, Harvard is giving executive MBA in 1 year. What are you doing learning MG1 for 2 years? They were still doing MG1 practice. I about give up. I'm like, come on, man. We got MBAs happening in a year. Can we, move past MG1, please? They were still doing play hurdle on MG1 a year later. I'm like, you'll grow old, your hair will grow old, you'll go white, you still don't get to follow up. Move. Why don't people do it? Fear. Yes or no? There are 2 fears you're born with, right? Puff and puff. How many of you know that? Fear of loud noise and fear of falling. There are 2 fears human beings are born with. All of us are born with. The fear of loud noise and fear of falling. You take a baby about to fall, he'll cry. Loud noise, you make a boom noise, he'll cry. The 2 fears you develop. Puff and puff. Fear of failure and fear of people. They're developed fears. They're not born with it. Right? These are developed fears. You don't have it. Right?
Fear of failure you develop, and fear of people you develop, but you are born with fear of falling and fear of loud noise. Interesting.
Fear of people. What will they think? What if it? It's okay. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fail. As a matter of fact, last week you did something funny in my dinner table. So we sit down for dinner with the whole family. I said, okay, all of you, I have 3 girls, by the way. Okay, who failed in what this week? Initially they got surprised. I'm like, failed? Like, yeah, you tried and failed. It just didn't work for you. And that's okay. Let's talk about it. And that's okay. And you need to normalize failures. You need to normalize falling down. I remember reading somewhere, it said, I would rather say, I can't believe I did that, but I don't want to say, I wish I had done that. Ooh, ouch. That went too close. Think about that for a second. We all do STU, PID stuff. We all do it. Right? I can't say the word, sorry. Right? We all do it. You're going to mess up. You're going to do your first DTM and the guy's like, what? What did you say? Right? You're going to make somebody aware of what is available. You talk about dinner, you talk about everything else. You're going to mess it up. It's supposed to happen. It's okay. It's normal. That's why you practice. Are you with me? Entrepreneurs thrive on that. Remember that one. We thrive on that. I would rather say, I can't believe I did that. But sit around and say, I wish I had done that. I wish I had gone Nano. I wish I had gone ADC. Am I making sense to you? Are you with me? So fail. Falling forward is important, right? As well, hey, get back up.
Failing and falling forward is very important. That's quite profound.
Falling down has never made anybody a failure. Not getting back up has a lot of people. But anybody who has succeeded has failed miserably, multiple times. And you all give their examples, by the way. Yes or no? Anybody heard the famous Edison quote of how many times he failed inventing the light bulb? But here's the thing though, there has never been a statue built of a critic. Have you seen that? I know we're going through this election season right now, right? There's a lot of critiquing happening, isn't it? I don't care what party you believe in. I'm not about being political here. But there's a lot of critiquing happening, yes or no? But there has never been a statue built of a critic, has there been? You can be really good at it, but I want to get you nowhere. Ain't nobody going to remember you because you critic. Right? Now, all of you in your life are going to have those component element of that, whether it's your brother-in-law, it's your cousin, somebody's going to there. I hope there is somebody. The thing is, I tell people is like, I hope there is somebody irritating in your life. Because then you'll succeed just to prove them wrong. When there is nobody not inching you, sometimes it's not good. Sometimes you want somebody to move, kind of nudge you a little bit, irritate you a little bit, like, and you can't tell them anything. You just have to tell yourself, I can't wait to show it to you, my man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody has that itchy feeling inside? You just get annoyed. I know Christmas is coming, New Year's is coming, Thanksgiving coming. All of you are going to get one cousin, one uncle who's going to irritate you. You all have those. You still in that job? Got any promotions yet? You still driving the Toyota? Everybody has one of those, isn't it? Yes or no? I hope you do. Somebody need to move you out of your rear end, man. Otherwise, you're stuck. Right? Happiness is in the process of accomplishing, not the accomplishment itself. Happiness is in the process of accomplishing. And listen to me very, very carefully. We all talk about having a dream, having that future desire state, where do you want to be? And that's what defines the business for you to, for drives any entrepreneur for that state. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a funny example and I'll bring you back to business. And I want you to understand this. I love giving examples because I read a lot of this. It's just who I am, right? Coming from a technology background, right? You know, they were doing a survey on the West Coast, companies people want to work for. SpaceX was the top two. SpaceX, Tesla were the top two companies people wanted to work for. And if you really understand what SpaceX is, if you really define it, right? It's a vertical transportation company. No, it is. That's all it does. It just takes stuff from ground up, comes back. It's a vertical transportation company. Legit, it is. But the funny thing is how it has been defined and the vision that has been kept. Yes or no? I remember when Musk started talking about putting a man in Mars, there's a legit video interviews of media companies mocking him on live TV because he wanted to put a man in Mars. There's still, those are still out on the YouTube. You can find those. They ain't laughing anymore, though, isn't it? Why is it it's one of the big companies people want? Because it's the vision the man drives. Are you with me? It's the vision he drives is what inspires the people. So my question to you is, does your vision inspire your family? Or do you have one? Or has it been dead for years? What drives it? Seriously, think about that for a second. Is there a vision? Do you talk about a vision? You come to our dinner table, you'll cry. Man, my girls are like, we get them, I get them wild. I'm a crazy dad. So we get them all, so all of this, one girl wants to buy her own island, one guy wants to jet her own jet, like all kinds of crazy. I'm the weird guy. And there's one girl would say, Papa, I want my own private island. So I'll go online and search and show her which islands she can buy and what's the price tag. I'm the weird guy. I'm telling you. I'm not the guy who says, come on, what do you mean you can't buy it? I'm like, of course you can buy it. Let's search for one. See which one you like. That's about 13 million. What do you think? Yeah, I want to buy that one. That looks nice. Some of you are laughing, isn't it? You think it's funny. It's not funny. What do you want? A vision is extremely important. Dream is seriously important for anybody to prosper in life. A lot of you, what has happened, here's what it'll do to you guys. It is what corporate America does to you. They don't, I read it somewhere. It says corporate America is the salary they pay you. The salary is the money they pay you to not have a dream.
The salary they pay you is the money. Salary is the money that they pay you in order for you to not have your dream. That's quite profound. All right. Okay, guys. So we will finish it here. Hope you all liked it, and we are all learning together.